Hello Reborners, my name is Karen and this is Making Dolls with Karen. I'm back with Dominic and I just don't know if I'm happy with his color. His color is a little light to me. He's got some, see that didn't get pounced out good right there, so it looks like a rash, see? But that's okay, he's getting hair so that won't matter, but still, I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure that I'm ready to put blush on him. I'm thinking maybe, just maybe, he needs a little something else. I know one thing, he needs the crud taken out of his ear. That's better. Okay. Yeah, he looks good, but he's just pale to me. I wonder if I put another coat of warm blush on him, if he will look too orange. Ugh. Decisions. There's so many to make when you're making a doll. Let's see, where to put each color, how much of it to put, how dark to put it, how many coats of each layer you want to put. Bunches and bunches of decisions. And if we don't make the right ones, we're sometimes sorry. But I'm going to put another coat on him because I just think he needs it. And I want to get him finished and ready for his hair. I really want to make him a brunette. I'm not sure though if that's the right color for him. In the pictures they post of the real baby, they all look like they have real dark hair to me. Sometimes they look nearly bald and sometimes they look like they have really dark hair. So it's hard to know what, a person's natural hair color is probably their most flattering hair color. Some people don't think so and they change their hair color, but most babies do have darker hair when they're born, and it tends to lighten up. Now I had exceptionally fair-skinned babies. One was a blonde and one was a brunette, and they looked like that when they were born. They didn't look like they had any dark hair. My redhead especially, he had fiery red hair the moment he came out. And red is one of the colors for people who don't have a lot of pigments. I'm a brunette. I have plenty of pigments. I have olive skin. But my husband was a redhead and he was very fair too, and I guess the children took after him being fair. But Dominic, I don't know if he's supposed to be fair-skinned or not. I don't think they make the kits in any special way to make them be fair-skinned or dark-skinned, well, unless they make an ethnic kit. They do sometimes do that. But people are just making ethnic babies out of any kit now. They used to have these kits that were much darker vinyl, so that it's a boost, I guess, toward making them dark-skinned. And because it is, to me, very hard to get the skin dark enough and to not have it look fake. I can get them dark enough, but it looks so terrible when I do it. And I can make it look real, but they're not dark enough. Like they would be a real light-skinned biracial baby or something. I mean, it's really hard to get all that stuff straight. And people who do it, I have to give them an award or something because they are super good at it. I've seen some super good looking little ethnic babies. I mean, they look spot on real. And I've seen some, well, they don't look so real, but you know, everybody has their own likes and dislikes on what they want their baby to look like. And sometimes we cannot achieve that. So I say kudos to anybody who tries, because it's very hard. That's why I don't make ethnic babies. I've ruined so many kits trying to. I go, oh, fake. Looks real, real fake. I can't put that out there for sale. I mean, I did sell them, but they were boo-boos. And bargain babies. I call them bargain babies. And anyway, I just finished selling all of my bargain babies. I didn't want to try to make any more. I mean, I didn't try to make them. What I did was I made some dolls, and then they were some of less quality than some of the rest of the dolls I had. I'm not saying they were bad quality. I'm just saying I had some of better quality than them. So I took the ones of lesser quality and I practiced rooting hair and stuff on them. And then, of course, well, you know, hair's not up to par, so can't sell them for a full price baby. So I made them into a bargain baby. And then I got tired of waiting for them to all sell, so I just put them way down to cheap, cheap, cheap. And I did get rid of all of them. They're gone now. So Dominic, we're going to work on you until you don't look like a bargain baby. He looks all right so far. He needs to have some kind of little baby scratch or something, I think. I think I might give him a baby scratch. I watched somebody do a baby scratch, and they did it basically the same way I did, except she had a heat gun, and she was drying every layer first, so she wouldn't have to bake it that many times, you know. And so that's basically what I do, but I don't have a heat gun. If I had a hair dryer, I'd even do it with that. She was getting it hot enough to cause it to dry really, really good, deep down, you know, dry, so that she could put the next layer on. And she used different colors than I used. She used burnt sienna, I think was one of them. She used, of course, red. You can't have a scratch without red. And then she used purple as well. So, I don't know. Hers looked really good, but I liked the way mine looked as well. She used a little bit of, I think it was thick medium. I don't know. Since I started putting the thick medium on, you can feel the scratch now. It's not flat to the skin. You can actually feel that it's a bumpy, scratchy scratch, you know. They should be bumpy. They're bumpy. And she used the little method where you put the little dots instead of making straight lines, you know, like I did when I did my last scratch. But I am going to give him a scratch, I think. I want to give every baby a scratch, but it makes them all seem like they're the same, you know. They all have a baby scratch. That's just, I don't know. Alrighty, there's that. Now we're going to go all over him again, and we're going to make sure he's not splotchy this time. That splotchy look on top of his head, it doesn't really matter. He's going to get hair, but I shouldn't have left that there. I should have made it a little bit better. I don't know how I missed it. Okay, that's his head. His color looks real good now, but he's got to bake, and we all know what happens in the baking. But he's going to get blush too, so it won't be bad. It won't be bad. After the blush goes on, he'll be the right color. I just didn't want him to be super pale. Those super pale babies, I don't know. I'm not fond of them. Some people like their babies pale. I've seen a lot of posts that people make in my doll group, and they in one of my doll groups. I'm in a lot of doll groups. And they make their dolls pale on purpose. They want them to be pale. And like they're trying to mimic a child of the family or something, that maybe their own child or their niece or their nephew or something that was really, really pale. Now we're going to give him a baby scratch. And for all of you who haven't seen me do a baby scratch before, this is how I do it. I saved these lids that went to my electrolyte drink because they're just little enough. They're just the right size to hold a little bit of paint and some thick medium. I got to get the thick medium. Hold on. Oh, the thick medium is just the opposite of thin medium. It's thick enough that it gives a texture to your doll wherever you put it, and it's a heavy, thick texture. Like if you were painting on hair. Which one of these is open? If you were painting on hair, it looks very flat on your doll. But as you progress through the different layers of the hair, this is the one that's open, I think. Yeah. As you progress through the different layers of the hair, you want it to be thicker looking. So people use thick medium in different stages of the hair process. And I use it on my scratches now. What I do is I take a little bit of color. A scratch should be a nice red color. Now this has been thinned with thinning medium, but that doesn't mean that we can't put thick medium in it. What it is the thinning medium is a little bit different from paint thinner. Paint thinner would make it super watery. This is not super watery. This is a lot thicker. And we don't need much because we're making a scratch. It doesn't need much paint. And where's my garbage can? Oh, we did some changing around some stuff in here yesterday, and I didn't put my garbage can back over here. I'll just put that like that. And I'm gonna get another toothpick, and I'm gonna get out just a little of this thick medium. And this stuff is thick. It is super thick. The thinning medium you can pour out, but look at this thick. It doesn't come out at all. You can't even pour it out. You just need the tiniest little bit. And this is probably too much. I'm putting it on the side here so I can take some down as I need it and put it in the color. And we may require a little more color because mediums tend to thin out the paint, thin out the color, really. This will not thin the paint. This will make it very thick. But the color may change because we're putting something clear into our paint. Lots of times you cannot mix it with a toothpick. I don't know how much I need, but I want some thick. I hate to use a paintbrush. It takes up too much of the paint that you're trying to preserve and make thick. I'm just going to put it all in there because it doesn't look like it's getting very thick. It's hard to tell down in this little cup, and the cup is black, so that doesn't help a bit. Lighter colors, you can see better what you're doing, but the color doesn't seem to have changed one iota, so that's good. So now I'm just going to lay this right there, I think. And we're going to put this top immediately back on here. And no, not immediately. The first thing we're going to do is decide where we want to put the scratch. Now you can outline it with a super light pencil if you want to, but it doesn't look as good if you do. I don't recommend that. I like their face to be pointing up, so I usually just prop it up with some limbs so that I can see where I want to put the scratch. You have to kind of think about, okay, if he was going to scratch his face, how would he do it? Straight down? Would it be curved? Would it be curved this way? I don't know. You have to think about, how do I want the scratch to look? And most all of the scratches I do, I put it in angle. And that's because babies don't usually keep their hands straight down like that. And every baby I've ever seen with a scratch, it was at an angle. I'm talking about real babies, not dolls. So the first thing we want to do is we want to give him a little bit of a background color, because when you scratch yourself, you'll notice when you look at the scratch that around it, your skin is very red because it's irritated or something. And so a realistic looking scratch is going to have a background of a little bit of red. So the first thing we're going to do is just swipe on a little bit of red on his face. We're going to kind of make it a little wider, just a little bit wider than we want our scratch to be. Slightly wider. And it's going to look basically like that. Now see, if I had a heat gun, I'd go on and dry that out real quick. And I want it a little bit longer. I'm just going to put a tiny bit more. There we go, that's better. I want it to be long enough to really look like a scratch. Okay, now that's going to be his irritated skin. And it's going to dry pretty quick. I think I'm going to get a swab and barely dab it. And I mean barely dab it, because I want to make it a little drier. Yeah, it's taking a little of the color off, which we don't really want to do, but I need it drier so I can move on. I don't have the luxury of a heat gun, so. Okay, now the next color we're gonna do, it's still red, but it's bumpy. This has got thick medium in it, so it's gonna be thicker. And when it dries, you're gonna be able to feel the texture of it sticking up. It's gonna stick up, but we're not gonna paint it in a straight line like we did this one. We're gonna put dots, like you'd see on a tear out piece of paper, little dots coming down. And don't worry if they don't look super realistic right now. This is only early stages. Can you tell they're dots? And then when that dries, it's going to be a little bit bumpy. And I wish I had a heat gun. I wonder if a hairdryer would do anything. And put one more dot. Okay. Now, we're going to just let that dry. I don't know anything else to do but just let it dry. Because next we're going to put I'm going to put a tiny bit of purple on it. I don't know how purple's going to look, but that scratch I saw being made online looked awesome. Oh, I didn't mix it up. Put that top right back on there and let me shake that up a little. Okay, that's good. She used like 20 seconds, literally, on a heat gun, and it was dry, which was awesome, I thought. I'm gonna get me a heat gun. She said she just got a cheap $10 one, and that's all she uses it for. You know, there was a time when people was using their heat guns to heat set their dolls. And I think it's a bad idea, but what do I know? Okay, I'm just gonna put a little purple in there. Because it's not dry, I'm dotting it in between the other dots. You can't tell any difference really because it's very, very light. Now at this point, well, I just got purple on his head. We don't want that. Even if I am going to root him, I still don't want that. Now at this point, I would usually bake him. And when he comes back out, I would check it to see how it looks. So he needs a bake anyway because he just got a coat of paint on him. So when we come back, we will put his blush on and probably a little more on his scratch. because it doesn't look quite scratchy enough to me. It needs to have a little more done to it. But for right now, we're going to go on and get him in the oven. His lips look good, his nails look good, his modeling looks good, his creases look good. And by the way, they're much, the bold color of them is much decreased by the painting that I did. So I'm happier with that. I'm not super happy with his creases, but nobody can't say he don't have any, that's for sure. Anyway, he's going to get a bake, and we'll be back toot sweet to finish him up. And please remember to like, subscribe, and share, and happy reborning.